Hi, I'm Don, and this is the Hobbyist Geek. Welcome back, y'all. Today we are continuing our Fanhome Ironman Mark III build-up. And we have pack 2, which has 3 beautiful issues. And I can't wait. Last time around, we got the helmet and the left foot. Let's see what we get into this time. Alrighty, here are the parts we get with issue 3. We are going to be building the right hand. We have the palm. We have the screen. We have all the parts of the thumb, all the parts of the index, middle, ring, and little fingers. We have our LED assembly, battery cover. We have the back of the hand. We have the back plate. And we have the wrist joint along with a bunch of screws. Now, how do you identify all of these little finger pieces? I'm going to try to show. It's really, really hard to see. But let me see here. Yeah, okay. Way down, right in here, and this is the same on most of them, there's a little mark that'll have a number and the letter R. This one is 5R. In fact, all 3 of these pieces are 5R. Okay, so 5R equals little finger. So these would be just R or 1R. I think mine just have R on them. Then 2R, 3R, 4R, 5R. I will say some of these, the paint kind of goes over the number, but there's enough that are legible enough that I was able to identify them. As you saw, though, I had to bring out the magnifying glass just to see them. So I hope you have really good eyes or something to magnify that with. But there you go. All right, we're going to kick things off by building the fingers, and we're going to start with the thumb here. So we're going to take 3C and 3D, which are both parts of that 1R assembly. And for the thumb and for all the fingers, there's a flat surface. That is the top, okay? The bottom is rounded, the top is flat. So that's how you know which direction they go. You basically just slide this in so that the screw holes all match up. And then we're going to use a CP screw right in there to hold it all together. And there you go. Look at that. And remember, the tighter you make this, the harder it's going to be to position the fingers. But this looks good. Now we're going to move on to the rest. For all of the rest of these, they're basically going to be assembled the same. You're going to do, let me just confirm that. All right. Things will change up a little bit on the little finger, so we'll stop when we get there. But for the index, middle, and ring fingers, you're going to take the first knuckle, put these together, and that'll be a CP screw. For the outer knuckle here, that'll be an FP screw. So let me go ahead and get all this together. I'll show you what they look like. All right, so there's one. This is our index finger assembly, and as you can see, fully posable. I did actually have this backwards. This here is the CP screw, and then this is the FP screw. The instructions were a little unclear on that, but there you go. That's one done. And now we're going to do the middle and ring fingers exactly the same way. All right, there we go. 3 fingers down and looking great. For the final finger, it's going to assemble in effectively the same way, but this first knuckle here is going to get a DP screw, and then this rear knuckle will get a CP screw. So it's the same assembly, different screw types. All right, there we go. Pinky is done. Excellent. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take the palm here, we're going to flip it over. You can see there's a space in here for our screen. Now you see this little hole right here? There's a peg way up here that'll sit on, and then you've got 2 screw posts on either side that'll fit into these 2 holes. So you just push this thing in, just like that. And on either side, we're going to use BM screws to hold it in place. All right, there we go. Look at that. Alrighty, for this next part, we're going to be putting the LED assembly into the hand here, into the back of the hand. Unfortunately, now that I have the batteries, I can test this. This LED assembly is busted. Doesn't work. Which sucks. I mean, it really does. I have requested that they send a replacement, but I can't really wait for that to arrive to finish this. So I'll have to take it apart and replace it later. But the assembly will go the same. Basically, what you're going to want to do is there are 2 pins right here. Those will go between the 2 black insulated parts of the wire on the switch, with the switch pointed up just like so. So that should go in and look like that. And at least that's the way it looks in the instructions. It's hard to say. I think, actually no, I take it back. It's going to have to go like that so that the button is facing upwards like this. Okay, yeah, that's how it's... The instructions are not very clear, but it looks like that's what it's going to have to do. And when we push this in here, you can see the hole where the button's going to go, and the screw posts here and here where these screw bases are going to reside. Let's see if we can slide this in. There we go. So it should look a little something like that. And with this in place like this, you can take the circuit board here and slide it in to this cavity that's right in here. And we're going to use 2 BP screws on either side to hold it in place. So let me see what I can do here. All right, should look a little something like this. You can see I've got all the cables coming in here and the circuit board up here. That's as close as I can get it. Man, do I wish I could test this thing, and successfully. Unfortunately, I can't. But it's in. It is in. All right. With that in place, what we're going to do is we're going to take our fingers and we're actually going to set them down in these cavities. So the thumb will go there, Then index finger will sit down right in here. Pointer, or excuse me, middle, I should say. Ring. And finally, our pinky will go right here, just like that. And with all of that in place, we've got our wrist joint here, which will slide in right in the bottom. Wonderful. So it should look a little something like this when you're done. Look at that. And with all of that in place, we can take the palm and slide this on top. Okay, there we go. It took a bit to get that thing lined up, but it's all in now and looking great. You can see there are 3 screw holes here, and in each one of those, we are going to put in AM screws. So let's go ahead and get those in place. All right, there we go. Look at that. Now here's where we would put a battery in, and then we would take the battery cover and just slide that in like that. And we're going to put an EP screw in to hold the battery cover in place. I'm going to go ahead and put a battery in anyway, just to see if knocking it around while trying to assemble somehow magically fixed it. I don't think it did, but we will find out. Let's see. Sadly, no, did not correct the problem. Oh well, I guess we'll have to wait for the replacement to come in to see what the palm looks like with a nice lit thing. But in the meantime, we can move on. We'll put the battery cover on. And again, an EP screw to hold it in place. All right, and there you go. And with that in place, that magnet on there, we got a magnet right there. Just cover it up, just like that for the back plate. And we have his right hand fully assembled. And that completes issue 3. Alrighty, y'all. Here are the parts we get with issue 4. We have our reactor cover. We have the reactor housing and LEDs, and I have tested these. Does work, so that's good. We have the battery cover, this screen. We have the LED support. Well, this is actually called the reactor cover. This is the reactor crown. And we have the reactor ring along with a couple of screws. Alrighty, so what we're going to do is take the reactor crown here and the reactor ring. You'll notice there's a lip here that actually faces the crown. We're going to put this down in such a way that these 2 posts on the inside line up with this hole and this hole. So leave, yeah, right about like so. And there we go. Look at that. And with that done, we're going to take the screen here, and that's basically just going to fit right down on. Ooh. We've got 2 larger holes on either side. That'll go here and here. So let's go ahead and push that in. So that it looks like that when you're done. Very nice. And now in this hole and this hole, we're going to put in AM screws. There it is. Look at that. Beautiful. All right, next up, what we're going to do is take this housing here, the reactor housing with the LED. We're going to take the LED light out, and we've got the LED support, and we're going to push it in from underneath right through that hole, just like that. And we're going to push this all together, just like so. And then we've got the screen that will pop on top, just like this. And all of this is going to come down here with these posts lining up with these screw holes. So, should go like that. And with that in place, we're going to use 2 more AM screws to hold this in place. And there you go, look at that. Now this switch does like to pop out for some reason, but it will fit right back in there. So we are still good. And at this point, we can put one of our batteries in, test it out, look at that. Very nice. And now what we're going to do is take the battery cover here, and we're going to push that in so that the power switch goes through that hole right there. And the rest of it all lines up nice and neat, just like so. And we're going to put a BP screw in here to hold it in place. Just like that. Look at that. That's pretty awesome, is it not? Very, very cool. And that is the end of issue 4. And these very few parts are what we get with issue 5. We've got the upper right arm joint, the lower right arm joint, the right elbow cover, and 2 washers. So we're going to take the cover, flip it over, and we got these 2 big posts here. And those washers are just going to go right on there. And after that, we're going to take the lower joint. We're going to push this in just like that. And the upper joint will push in like so. And, well, that's it. That's all of issue 5 right there. So these are not secured in any way. There are no screws, nothing like that. So there you go. End of issue 5. And there you have it. This is the end of pack 2 with part of an elbow joint, our arc reactor, and the right hand with a broken LED, unfortunately. But I think it came along pretty well, actually. I mean, I love the way the hand looks. I love the articulation. Just a little upset with that. But I'm sure they will send a replacement, and all will be well. I can't wait to see what's coming next, but we'll have to wait for pack 3. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Have a great day.